It needs to be understood that this entire Vox and Steven Crowder situation really doesn't have anything to do with Steven Crowder. He's just the latest person in the line of their sights. This has been going on for a long time. They have been going after PewDiePie, the king of YouTube, for years and years and years, and they have failed every single time. They have been trying to get anything on PewDiePie because he drives them crazy, because he does not say the things they want him to say, he doesn't act the way he wants them to act, he doesn't push the narrative they want him to push. So they have decided now they're going to go on an all-out attack on all YouTubers that don't line up with their ideology. This is not very complicated if you have been paying the slightest bit of attention in the last few years. This has nothing to do with Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder is a great YouTuber. He's a great personality. He's a great comedian. I have nothing against Steven Crowder. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm the biggest fan of Crowder. I've watched Crowder here and there, but I've watched other people like Dave Rubin and Ben Shapiro, but Steven Crowder is not someone I've really watched. But again, this is not so much about Steven Crowder as it's about controlling the narrative. Once Steven Crowder has been deplatformed, which they won't fully deplatform him. He has too many connections. He has too big of a fan base. He will be fine. But they have had him demonetized, and that is nonsense, and it's unacceptable, and it should not happen unless it's the most extreme circumstances where someone is actually causing violence, calling for violence, doxing someone. Outside of that, YouTube should be a place where opinions should be allowed, comedy should be allowed, mean, hurtful things should be allowed. It doesn't matter who you're saying them about or against, as long as you're not actually inciting violence. Nothing should be off the table. Words are just that, words, unless you are trying to actively dox people and cause them violence or something like that. But this is bigger than that. This is about controlling the narrative. They can't stand the fact that YouTubers have so much influence. They can't stand that independent media has taken over the mainstream media. The mainstream media is dying. The mainstream media is irrelevant. The mainstream media is used to controlling the narrative. The mainstream media is used to controlling everything that goes out into the airwaves. And now with the rise of independent media and independent creators who are not beholden to the big mainstream companies, and the big conglomerates, now it's scaring the living hell out of them. And they are terrified of all of us. All of us, every single one of us. It doesn't even matter if you are right, left. It doesn't matter if you're center. It doesn't matter. They're going to come for you too if you continue to allow this. We have all got to stand together. We have all got to understand what is going on here. This is not about Trump necessarily. Of course they hate Trump. Of course they're scared to death for 2020. But Trump is still, he's the guy they hate, and we all understand that. I'm not disputing that at all. But this is so much bigger than any one person or entity or party or ideology. This is about people with money, people with power, controlling the things they want to control. And the rise of independent creators on YouTube has seriously stifled that. And it is scaring them because they can't control us. This is why they've gone after PewDiePie so much. And trust me, they're still going to go after him. The plan is to still go after him at some point in time because he cannot be controlled. He is too dangerous to them. And we've seen media after media after media go after him and slander him and lie about him, and they continue to fail. So now they're trying to go, okay, we're going to start smaller. We're going to go after some more prominent voices that are not saying the things that we want to. Maybe not as prominent as PewDiePie, but they're still prominent enough where they're making noise that we don't like, and they won't say the things we want to say. And Crowder is just another example. It was Alex Jones. Now they're making the ridiculous leap from Alex Jones to Steven Crowder. And at some point, it's going to be you, me, and everybody else that's within our wheelhouse. And then once we're gone, they're going to come for you. Even if you're agreeing with them right now, eventually you're not going to always agree with them. And they're going to come for you too. So we have to understand this is bigger than our opinions. This is bigger than our beliefs. This is bigger than our disagreements. This is bigger than all of that. All of it. YouTubers, independent creators have the power. We have the power because we are not beholden to the corporations and the money and the narrative. We can say what we want, and we should always have that right. If you disagree with me, I'm happy that you have an audience. If you have an audience, I'm happy that you have that audience. If you hate my guns, I'm happy that you have an audience to listen to you, to talk bad about me or anybody like me or anybody that I'm a fan of. I'm happy that you have that audience because that is your right to have that audience, to speak to that audience, and nobody should be able to take that audience away from you. If YouTube wants us to stay within rules, I have no problem with that. All I would ask YouTube is to define those rules very clearly for us. That way, when we do break them, we know exactly what we've done so that we know exactly what to do to correct the situation. But more times, often than not, we continue to see vague rules and then we violate those rules and then YouTube says, well, you can come back if you fix them. I don't know what I did. You're not giving me specifics, and we have to determine exactly what the rule is. It is YouTube's platform, and it's YouTube's rules, and I have no problem with YouTube having their rules and having us stay within those rules, but you have to define those rules properly in order to expect all content creators to abide by those rules. That is the only fair way to do this. I don't think anybody who's on this platform is looking for a free-for-all. We all understand that you have to have rules. You have to hold people accountable to those rules. No problem there. But we need you to define those rules and make them crystal clear. Because as long as those rules are vague, and as long as it's an invisible line that you can just place wherever you want, then it puts all of us at risk. And it is a big problem. So again, I just ask you, like I always ask, please stand with your fellow creators. Stand with the people that you are a fan of, whether that's me, whether that's someone else, whether that's someone that disagrees with everything I say. Stand with them. Support them. Support their right to have their opinions be heard. Support their right to speak to their audience. Support their right to speak and be heard. It's a beautiful thing. And without the ability to disagree and to have dialogue, we have nothing. Nothing at all. And this is very, very important. So thank you for watching this video. I said before, I'll say it again. I do have a bit shoot for Geeks and Gamers. Main things is just visit geeksandgamers.com. Bookmark geeksandgamers.com. I'm not putting links in the description or anything like that, but I would just ask you to support us. Subscribe to the channel. If you have not, subscribe to your favorite YouTubers. Subscribe to them. Follow them. Support their Patreon. Support their Subscribe Star. Support them wherever they're at because they need it now more than ever. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.